A lovely afternoon. Welcome to Younib TV Live at 1. My name is Micheal Robert and these are our top stories. Now to the first story. President William Ruto has come under fire from supporters of his former deputy Rigathi Gachagua for allegedly using security forces to intimidate opponents of his administration. The leaders who escorted Kiambu Senator Karungo Thangwa to honor the DCI summons in Nyeri following the chaos at a funeral in Kiambu County 6 days ago, cautioned Ruto against returning the nation to its dark days. Here's the story.
This is part of the intimidation, trying to make sure that we don't serve our people. I come from Kiambu. We are in Nyeri. We do not understand why they summoned us here. Then after we get here, they tell us that we have to go back to Nairobi.
With me here are summons to appear without fail tomorrow 8 a.m. At DCI Nairobi to answer charges of what I don't know.
We are sleeping in fear. We are driving in fear. We are not even going to churches anymore because we are fearing we might be abducted along the way. It is time for us to speak because tusipoongea maneno haiendi vizuri.
The people that you are harassing, we are the people that voted for you. The powers that you are exercising, we have donated them to you.
If we allow our country to slide to where it is going, then we may have as well in the future have somebody knocked down by a motor vehicle and asked to compensate the motor vehicle owner, because that is exactly what is happening here. Senator Karungo was a victim, but he's now being turned into a villain.
We are ready to face our accusers hands-on, and we are telling them to prepare themselves and their arsenals properly for an engaging legal gymnastic.
The state knows very well who the attackers were. They planned it. They even kidnapped the local MCA and Honorable Mwathi. And therefore, it is a time Kenyans must think very carefully about the rule of law.
Now, Parliament is currently being accused by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commissions, EACC, of delaying the Whistleblower Protection Bill, claiming that this action has halted the battle against corruption, while the UN Office on Drugs and Crime is creating a framework to safeguard journalists in order to encourage accountability in public service. EACC condemns that the new law will be crucial in exposing corruption in the nation. Here's the story.
EACC calls upon the National Assembly to fast-track the ongoing enactment of a whistleblower protection law. We have the whistleblower protection bill that has been pending in Parliament since 2021, and we call upon the National Assembly to expedite that bill because today, absence of that framework remains one of the major impediments to an effective attack.
The convention contains quite a lot of measures for state parties to involve stakeholders in the fight against corruption, including access to information, protection of whistleblowers, getting the stakeholders, NGOs, the citizens engaged in the fight against corruption.
Now elsewhere, Raymond Omolo, the Principal Secretary of Internal Security and National Administration, told reporters during a press briefing that more than 1,000 police officers have been sent out on patrols across the nation, with operations being directed from the Langata military barracks. The military will be involved in security operations during the Christmas season to prevent any kind of crime in the nation. Here's the report.
The multi-agency command centers to be manned on a 24-hour basis, and this means that all the officers that have been deployed, the 10,000 plus, are directed to resume duty with immediate effect. The involvement of Kenya Defense Forces, you will have noticed that part of why we are including them as part of this multi-agency team is to be able to utilize some of the assets that they have to support the operations of all the other security actors, whether it's in terms of air assets, should there be a need for us to do so. We are activating the National Multi-Agency Command Center at the Langata Barracks to be supported by the regional multi-agency command centers as well as the county multi-agency command centers, which will comprise officers from all the services that I've mentioned.
Regardless of the political beliefs, social standings on religion, those who commit acts of gender and violence must be held accountable by the law. Speaking at an event to raise awareness on gender-based violence among the young generation in honor of 16 days of activism, several parliamentarians, including Nairobi Women's Representative Esther Passaris, stated that the family has to be redefined in public discourse.
And I want to tell our girls, and this is the last one, don't sell yourself cheap. What comes easy, it goes easy.
Mimi nilikuwa najiuliza hivi tu kidogo. Mzee ako na nguvu ya kupata watoto na mama watatu. Jameni, si nguvu tuiweke pia tutafute kazi, watoto wapate chakula. If you undergo FGM, they cut you. That is when you stop being promiscuous. That is a lie. And I don't know how we will preach this word. Stop cutting our honey. Let it be. When you cut it, which offense has it done?
Kuna hii generation imezaliwa na digital. Kudate ni digital. So unaenda na una meet somebody na umjui alafu ni mtu si mzuri.
In other cases, when 348 boarding schools were closed, the Kenya Private School Association, KPSA, urged private schools to get ready for a re-evaluation test. Charles Ohome, the chairman of the association, states that the re-evaluation to determine competence will take place in 3 weeks. Ochome also discussed measures to lower the cost of private schools' education and how they are getting ready to accept the 9th grade pupils' textbooks to make them more accessible. Here is the report.
Assessment is ongoing. This thing is done county by county. The thing is not done from the head office. The people who visited schools were the county assurance and their team. So once those things are ready, I believe they will be able to brief the ministry to be able to write another letter to open those schools. Grade 9 books are ready. They are ready. I want to let our directors across the country know that we'll be able to get books cheaper, at least 5% discount from KICD.
We as Kasarani Group of Schools wish to ask the Ministry of Education to kindly clarify whether our school is in that list, for we feel we are wrongly in that list because we do not have a boarding section.
Now, in a battle of David against Goliath, a university student, David Mokaya, has asked a Nairobian court to order the Director of Public Prosecution, Renson Ingonga, to provide him with witness statements, including the complainants, in order to force President William Ruto to testify in a case where he is accused of publishing false information about the head of state. Here's the story.
The concern that we do have as the defense is the fact that we do not have the president listed as a witness in this particular matter.
As asked to whether the president, His Excellency, will take the dog to prove whether he is alive and he is not the one who was in that casket. That will be a national embarrassment, because we shall be demanding that he comes to testify whether he was or he was not.
The submission for the prosecutor in that instance means that any evidence that will be brought here from is going to be inadmissible. Therefore, our request still stands for those particular gadgets to be surrendered to our client.
We saw on social media somebody being charged that he had shouted, "Ruto must go." And the court declined that charge and said, there is no charge, criminal charge sheet to that effect. Your Honor, it is my humble prayer. I've addressed you, but I've addressed my good sister there to tell their bosses, let Kenyans enjoy their freedom of creativity and talking. let the office of the Director of Public Prosecution stand firm and stop the DCI from embarrassing the office of the Director of Public Prosecution.
We are heading for a short break. When we come back, sports news with yours truly, so stay tuned.
Je, wewe ni mfanyabiashara katika sekta ya elimu, afya bora, usafiri ama unamiliki kampuni yoyote ile? Ungependa kupata fursa ya kutangaza biashara yako ili kuwafikia wateja zaidi? Usikonde. Runinga ya Younib inakupa fursa ya kupeperusha matangazo kuhusu bidhaa na huduma unazotoa kwa bei nafuu. Kwa maelezo zaidi, wasiliana nasi kupitia nambari za simu 0750344700 ama kupitia barua pepe marketing@younibtv.com. Jinyakulie leo. Younib TV, ever the best.
Ever the best. Hallelujah.
Welcome back. Now on sports news. With midweek fixtures action on Wednesday, Manchester City got back to winning ways after beating Nottingham Forest 3-0. Everton surprised Wolves to a 4-0 defeat, and Manchester United crumbled against the Gunners, where the Red Devils lost 2-0 against third-placed Arsenal in a tightly contested match. Here's the story.
Was a good first half. We lack a little bit aggressivity in the near the opponent box, but we control very well the game. We had the ball. We managed to go with the ball step by step during the game, and you feel it in the end of the first half. You hear in the stadium they had a lot of problems to create a situation like us. And then in the second half, with the set pieces, changed the game, changed the momentum. We try it, but we couldn't do to manage to score. Not that I like to change all the time, but if you see the game, Mason Mount cannot do the full game because we have to be careful in this stage. Harry Maguire has to leave the pitch no matter what. Lenny Oro, we have to control the time that he play. We did the same with Luke Shaw. We did the same with Ty Malacia. We have to control the time. In this moment, we have to manage to a new idea, winning games, and try to maintain all the players fit. So it's a difficult period. But like I said, let's focus on the performance and then think about the next game.
Now, still on the EPL, Aston Villa beat Brentford 3-1 as league leaders Liverpool were held to a 3-3 draw by Newcastle, reducing the gap to 7 points. Maresca's Chelsea jumped to second place and overtaking Arsenal after beating Southampton at home 5-1, with goals from Axel Disasi, Christopher Nkunku, Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, and Jadon Sancho. Here's the story.
Very happy because it's a game that we can learn many things. I think in the first 15-20 minutes we struggled a little bit. The reason why was because we were pressing in the wrong way, and then we adjust things and was much better. But overall, yeah, very happy for the players, for the fans. It was fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. The direction is the right one. Hopefully, we can continue on that. Yeah, but in general, since we start, we try to change players, no matter the competition. Today again, we changed 7 players. I think it was they were all good, and it's a good feeling.
Yeah, it was a good performance. Again, I felt like we started a bit slow, and then when we got the first goal, we started to get into our rhythm, and you know, luckily we came away with 5 goals tonight. Yeah, we can't get carried away. You know, again, it's nice to be in this position, but again, we're going to take it game by game because we still have a long season ahead of us. So, yeah.
Fixtures yet to be played are Fulham against Brighton and Bournemouth against Tottenham this weekday. That has been the sports update on Younib TV. Today's quotes comes from the book of 1 Corinthians 16:13-14. Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong, let all that you do be done in love. Thank you for watching. My name is Michael Robert. Have a lovely day.